Hello everyone, Happy New Year, and welcome to Sam's Doing Stuff. What am I doing today? Well, we're looking back at 2023. What a year it was. I want to start off by saying that 2023 was a very, very good year. It had its challenges, but my goals were pretty clear. We had just moved into our new 7-acre property, and there was a lot of cleanup to do. That's exactly how January started, cleaning up what would be my new wood yard. I had sold every stick of firewood that I had created at our old property, and it was time to restock. The new concrete surface was something I had never had the convenience of working on before, and it turned out to be an excellent place to store bulk firewood that would eventually be delivered to my dad. The winter was mild, to put it lightly. I only plowed once. So if I line those up with the ends, by February I had figured out a pretty darn good system using pallets and 2 6x6s and a log split in half to buck all of my firewood. It turned out to be my most watched video ever with over 100,000 views. Woo, hello. At the beginning of March, I decided I really wanted to pick up a new skill. So I tried my hand at welding. And let me tell you, I enjoyed it. All right, let's do a little weld back here. I may not be good at it, but I enjoyed it. The next project was to get some heat in the garage, so I installed a natural gas heater on the wall, and it is still working fantastically. What a luxury to have heat in the garage.
The deck's been here 34 years.
As we rolled into April, I started my first huge summer project, which was demolishing my parents' pool. We all worked our butts off, pulling every board by hand to preserve what was salvageable. It was a monumental task, but as my dad pointed out,
I put it together one board at a time, so I'll take it apart one board at a time.
After 2 weeks straight of tearing everything apart, we hit a dead end because my Kubota BX was not a big enough machine to dig out the steel walls around the pool. I'd have to put it on hold and move on to my next project. Here's what the house looked like before we even broke ground. And what a project it was. In the middle of April, I started construction of a 24 by 40 Trex deck on the back of our house. The deck construction would take me 2.5 months to complete. I started with 6x6 posts with double 2x10 beam construction, 2x6 joists centered at 16 inches, followed by the Trex decking, vinyl railing, and finally we added a small section of deck to access a 15-foot above-ground pool. I could not be more thrilled with the results. It was by far the most difficult, but the most rewarding project of the summer. There you go. Of course, there were dozens of other small jobs that I completed in the meantime, including building what some would call a huge, but what I would call a perfectly sized fire pit. By September, my little channel had reached 2,000 subscribers, and it was time to start fixing up those old barns. I needed to get them ready for the winter, and that meant building new walls. One side of each barn had been ripped off when an older barn was torn down in between them. Here is a picture I found on Google of what that old barn looked like in 2011. So I repurposed the lumber that came from my parents' pool deck, and I used it to make what I think are some pretty darn nice barn walls. The barn walls went well, but it took a little longer than I expected. We were pushing into fall and I was running out of time. My tractor was very close to being paid off, so I decided to buy something that was going to save me tons of time. I made a huge purchase of a Toro 4000 Series HDX Pro XL with a 72-inch mower deck. It took my lawn mowing time from 4.5 hours down to 1 hour and 20 minutes. What a game changer. So since I had all that extra time, why not redo our landscaping? Of course, there's always a tree job, or 2, or 3 that comes up now and again. So with all the major projects of the summer mostly finished, or at least put on hold, it was time to get ready for our big Halloween party. It was a lot of work, but it was a huge success and worth every minute. After the big Halloween party, fall was upon us, and it was a gorgeous fall. I got back into one of my favorite things, which is firewood production. And because my bucking station broke in half, I was forced to make what turned out to be a much better bucking table. I should have done that a long time ago. Fall came and went, so I cleaned up the leaves and pressed on.
Great. I mean, if you do it right, it works.
I've been finishing out the year by producing firewood and doing small jobs like drilling post holes at my brother's house for a fence he's putting in. And of course, I need to be able to get power down to those old barns, so I decided to run electricity in a somewhat unconventional manner, but it's working. 2023 has been an absolutely fantastic year, and aside from a couple of major challenges like not getting my parents' pool finished and finally getting our roof replaced after a major windstorm we had way back in March, I'm heading into the winter and into 2024 with absolute optimism and hope for the future. I feel like I've never been more prepared, and I'm ready for whatever amount of snow we might get this year. We'll see. The growth of this little channel has been ramping up. I'm at almost 3,000 subscribers, and we're growing 2 times faster than we did last year. Everything points to success, and I know no matter what the challenges are ahead, I'll be ready to face them head on. And I hope you will too. So let me and my family wish you the happiest of New Year's, and I will see you in 2024 when I am doing more stuff. Happy New Year, everyone.